And I just wanted to come on and say thank you in advance. We already have so many mommies registered for the workshop we're going to do next week. If you don't know about it, I am doing a. If you don't know about it, I'm doing a workshop. It's a free workshop next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be on a Zoom webinar. The topic for this workshop is nonverbal to communicate. So if you are struggling to get language for your child, then you don't want to miss this event. Last month we did it on potty training. I'm focusing specifically on the three skills our children with autism need to progress to get. It's called the foundational skills. And number one is potty training. Number two is you want to have no problem behavior or problem behavior like close to zero. And three is potty training. And two and three are kind of tied together. So last month we talked about potty training. This month we're going to talk about communication. And I wanted to talk about something that we're going to go deep on the conference with you guys today because I was thinking about it this morning. And one of the things is that if we've been in this world for a while, and we've had our children on the spectrum not making progress for a while. It definitely takes a toll on our soul. You know, we kind of start to feel like we're bad mothers, that we don't think anything's ever going to change. We start to future trip in a bad way, start thinking of like what's going to happen when I die, what's going to happen if things continue on this path. And the best way, one of the things I've learned over the last couple of years, and just from coaching and meeting all different types of families and parents and children, is that the best way out of this kind of thinking is to kind of take get those micro wins, those baby steps towards it. So what does that mean? So basically, you know, we're all laser focused on seeing progress for our children, but we may not have seen that in a very long time. And our beliefs about getting that progress hasn't happened for a very long time. So I always say the hope candle in me burns very bright for a parent that may have been maybe in this club for a while and hasn't seen that progress, and their child's getting older and the behaviors are really tough. That hope flame starts to really dim. So the best way to kind of get it up and going again, I always say, is to work on, number one, we want to work on micro wins, but number two is I want you to just focus on you first. I want you to think about how you feel about your child, how you feel about how they're doing, and wonder, just be curious if that has any connection to the actual result. That's kind of where I would start first. I'm not a big journaler, but I'm starting to do this more and more. I do prompt journaling, which means that there's already preset questions that I ask myself, and then I just answer them every day. And they're usually on the line of, that's my cat. They're usually on the line of things that are going to help me to start to get that hope light burning a little deeper or a little brighter again. So I want to read some of them to you because I think they might be helpful for you. So at the end of every night, you know, I list three things that I'm grateful for. I think that that's super important, that even in no matter what, I remember there were times with Juliana and things were really dark and really sad. And I was like, you know, I don't know how we're going to get out of this. I don't know how she's going to get better. I don't know what's going to happen to her. But I always, for some reason, I'd always have this thought right after it, but it could always be worse than this. And there was something about that made me grateful for where we were. So I want you to think, what are three things that I'm grateful for? And why are we focusing on you? Because here we are, like, you're a coach, you're supposed to help me, help my kids to do better. The reason why I want to focus on this is because you are a direct connect to your child. And it's going to be easier when you're in this space where your light is a little bit dimmed to work here first. Work on what you feel that you do have control over. I'm going to teach you, if we ended up working together, that you actually have a lot to do with the success and the progress that your child will see. But you're not there yet. So if you've been in this world a while and you just feel like you've just been kicked around and you just want to give up, these are the girls and boys and grandparents and caregivers that I'm speaking of and I'm speaking to. So basically the first thing I'd want to say is, number one, at the end of the night, what are you grateful for? I know life is tough. I know you're dealing with a lot, but what are you grateful for? Second thing I write to myself is, what are the ways that I can give tomorrow? And I know you'd be like, oh, I give plenty, da, 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 da. But like giving from a place of requirement versus giving from a place of wanting to do it is a very different thing. And then I want you to reflect on your day, even though it may have been a very rough day. Are there any highlights that you can think of? And then I want you to ask yourself when you're at your best. And then I'd want you to ask yourself, when was there unrest? We can always talk about all the shitty things that happen, but we never really sit and talk about the good things that happen too. And then one way, just one way that tomorrow could be better than today. And this is what I do. This is how we're going to start working with, when I work with a mom or a father or a grandparent who's been in this world for so long, their little hope candle is dimmed so dark now, but there's a little flicker, because it has to be a flicker, because if you reach out to me, I know you still have hope, even though it may be buried deep inside you. I want to work here first. So I hope this is helpful. This is how we start to see progress for our kids. We have to start to catch some micro wins for ourselves, and then stack that, and then we start thinking differently. And then I start thinking at those same questions I started this broadcast with, which was, what are your beliefs around what your child can do? What do you think that they're capable of? Do you think that they can be potty trained? Do you think that they can learn to communicate? And you're going to be surprised that the answer is going to be different if you start doing this a little bit. So I hope this was helpful. I was just thinking about this, and I if you haven't already, I'm going to put a link here. This is the registration link for Nonverbal to Communicate. That's my workshop for next week. It's Wednesday, October 20th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you can make it, and I hope this was helpful. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.